One of the hardest things to do in this life for many people is to simply just ask for help. It's not because help doesn't exist. It's not because help is not out there. It's because it's just sometimes too damn hard to ask. It's just that sometimes you don't want to feel like a burden on other people. But those other people took up the challenge for a reason. Those other people who are standing by waiting to help you are there for a reason. And it's not because they're just trying to buy their time. It's because that they know that there's somebody who believes that there is nobody out there for them. They know that there is somebody who just needs to be told you matter. If you are someone who is thinking of harming yourself or harming somebody else, just dial three numbers. 988. It's not going to take much out of your day. It's not going to take much time. In fact, just dialing three numbers can not only save your life, but save the lives of those who care about you dearly. You may not know it now, but I want you to know that not only are you important to so many people, not only do you matter, but that we care. And we care so much that we're asking you to stay. We're asking you to get the help that you need. So before you make a decision that you can't live with, make one that you can and get help. Now let's talk football.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Pride Nation, we back at it again. As I said before, we in all good vibe mode all the way around, bro. It's all good vibe mode. If you don't have good vibes today, it's okay. I'm going to give you some. I got some to spare. I got some to offer up today. We got to talk about a lot of things. Particularly one particular article that jumped out to me that I just thought was absolutely funny. I just thought it was hilarious. Could not believe that it was even written, if that could be the term used for it, right? But it was funny as hell. So I gotta talk about it. All right, people. I'm back in the building. I want to see who in the building with me. I have a lot to cover in a short period of time. I gotta get my stuff done. I got to put the work in. All right. Let's see who's in the building with me today. We got my man, Detroit Lions talk with John Capper. Says, Luke, what's going on? Notification on, and I'm ready for a good show, sir. Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Looney Tune is in the building. Lions Rumble's in the building. He said, what's popping? My man, Mike Kimber from Lions Talk About Chat Sports says, I have time to catch a live. Yes, sir. The Single Dad Club, what's up, dude? We got Detroit Lions on the prowl. What's going on, family? We have Giovanni Lyon. Perry Ball is in the building with me. Gino is in the building with me. Mikhail Hope is in the building with me. Friendly neighborhood Lions fan is in the building with me. We are going to have to talk about a lot of things. And Perry, hey, some things need to be discussed. All right. People, if you hear, hit the like button for me. I'm trying to get back into my bag. I don't know if I'm gonna do the music today. I know I usually do it because sometimes it sets the mood up for how a brother be feeling. If you like the music, please tell me in the chat. If you don't, tell me in the chat. But when Patty Luke come out, you know music coming back. Just giving you the heads up. We got my man Abstract A in the building. What's going on? Listen, we're gonna get right into the first thing first because this is the funniest shit I have ever seen. First of all, shout out to Jeremy Reisman for doing this because I know that Jeremy hears what the fans talk about. He is aware about what the fans talk about. But this article to me had me dying. Which reporter outlets do the best job covering the Detroit Lions? Now, you may be thinking, Luke, why is this news? Why is this something you want to talk about? Why is this something that jumps out to you? It's not that it jumps out to you. It's what he say that he knows. Jeremy know that this is true. One of the reasons that I exist, one of the reasons that Mike exists, one of the reasons that many of the YouTubers exist was because we were not getting fair representation amongst our media. It's also the reason why people like Jeremy Reisman exist, to get fair representation from the media. But it's the words that he used, because I believe that this is the truth. It just is what it is. He started off by saying the following. He says, Detroit Lion media gets a bad rap for being hateful or running players out of town. But it does. It is hateful, and it does run players out of town. I can name at least, from my count, at least 10. And that's just on Detroit Lions. That's not even including the other players. But I can name at least 10. It says, and while that may be true of some outlets, fair, I continue to preach that the handful of individuals who cover this team every single day are excellent at their job. I may not be completely unbiased in this opinion, seeing as I share a workplace with most of these people, but I admire all of them before Pride of Detroit was credentialed. Damn tongue slipping. So there's a difference between Detroit Lions media and Detroit Lions beat writers. Generally speaking, in Detroit, the beat writers who spend just about every day of their regular season at Ellen Park cover this team in a fair, fruitful, and informal way. They devoted a ton of their personal lives to covering this team, and they do a damn good job doing it. Unfortunately, these people often get lumped in with the media, which tends to be the source of some of the hot takes that makes both fans and players angry. And this is my thing. I think what Jeremy is trying to do is cool here, but I think what this does too is it shows that not only do media know what players are saying, not only do media know what fans are saying, but it's who he named and who he did not name. Again, this is no knock on him. I find it intriguing that we can have this discussion, because who he names and who he does not name is interesting. He names Dave Burkett. I think Dave Burkett has been fair in his assessment. So I don't think I've ever seen too many bad takes or any wild things from Dave. So I can't argue that. Justin Rogers from the Detroit News, same, So these people he get are there. Tim technically works directly for him. I don't know if he can really say anything about his employer when that's, or at least not have it be, a little bit fair, right? But it's the list. It's the list right here that you have. And I noticed that I don't see 97.1 The Ticket, Mike Valenti on there. I don't see what's this Carlos, how you pronounce his name? Whatever, Carl, I don't see him on there, right? Like I don't see these people, and I know that Carlos is designed to create shock and appall, but in the words of Dr. Umar, you don't find that suspicious? That you don't find it suspicious that we gotta do articles highlighting who do a good job because there's so many other people? We don't find this suspicious? Like I'm not trying to be the person to reinvent the wheel, but let's be honest. They have done just that. They have ran people up out of here. Shout out to the artist. Shout out to Greg. But seriously. Shout out to my man Detroit's on Big Will. Happy anniversary, big brother. I'm not shocked at this. I find it interesting. I find it enjoyable. I find it intriguing. I feel that what I've always known has been true, which is our media listens to us, they hear us, but they understand that players have told them, like, yeah, y'all are jerks. And sometimes they don't even ask questions that I think are good questions. Like, you don't even get good questions that you would expect to have. You don't even get that. But the reality is that I thought this was funny. I thought this would be a good way to open it up because, not naming any YouTubers, right? Or any people. Who are you guys' favorite people? Like I just feel like you have to be able to have the good, the bad, and ugly when you're writing about these things and you're going into it, but you got to come into it with some inspiration. And it's a lot of writers who are just lazy. Now, I gotta talk about it because this other topic came up. I saved it for today on purpose. And I think that we keep missing the point. This topic was going to be talked about yesterday, but it was further pushed after listening to Miko. Shout out to my man Miko over there from Lions Paws, right? When he talks about who's going to play opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. He talks about this, and it got me to looking at the defensive line in terms of saying like the D tackle position. And I'm like, yo, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping about the defensive tackles and stuff like that. And then I go and look at the roster. And many of the names on here I already know are going to be, swing players. They're going to be like D line, D tackles, and D. But I'm like Isaiah Buggs. Like if he wasn't on this team, would I be like, oh my God, he's gone? No. John Cominsky, Luke, you tripping? He did good. I mean, yeah, he did okay, right? But like, we already know Morton ain't making the team. Levi, I don't know what the hell going on with him. Pascal, I think he'll be good, but I don't even think Christian Covington is making the team. I don't. I don't think that Corey Durden is making the team. I don't think Benito Jones is making the team. I think when you look at your D tackles, your interior guys for the most part, I think it's Aleem McNeil, Broderick Martin, which I don't know how, and I essentially think that they'll use Isaiah Buggs as that other person. But then for the most part, your swing guys is Cominsky, Pascal, and the rest is left up for desire. And to any person who acts as if though this is not an issue, wake up. Wake the hell up. If you believe that this interior defensive line is good, come on now. Come on. Like it just is what it is. So I got my stuff set up. I'm gonna be taking all y'all questions too. But look at this. To even have to ask this question, do we need to add more D-line help? Like, do a human being need water in the desert? Like, if we just gonna ask these stupid questions, let's ask them all the way to the max. Like, do human beings need oxygen? Do we need to add more into D-line? Yes. Yes. When you have people who can write questions that simply say, hey, have they done enough? Hey, I have concerns about this part of the ball. Why would we not add more? And it's not because I don't believe in the players we have here. It's just that I want to make sure that there's at least one or two more pieces that can be something to move a needle. And right now, it's not there. Depending on what they want for Grady Jarrett, I mean, you need interior help bad. Like, I don't want people to just downplay this. I want you to really look at this, right? Let's say they're not Detroit Lions, right? They're not Detroit Lions. And you're looking at this damn D-line. Isaiah Bud, Cominsky, most of these names not even going to be on the roster, right? Because you already know that there are going to be people who are taking spots like Charles Harris and James Houston, right? And Julian Okoye and Romeo. You know that they're going to be rotated into that spot, brought down too. But even with them brought into the mix, you have a lackluster D-line. You have a lackluster linebacking core. And you get to ask yourself the question about, should we add D-line help? Yeah. Yeah, it's not even close. It's not even close to even question this. Like, if you lose one D-line guy, your D-line is like really shaky. And before somebody come in here and start telling me about what Broderick Martin is going to be, please don't. Don't do that. Don't come in here telling me about Broderick Martin. I don't want to hear that. So, like, come on. it can't happen, bro. It cannot happen. It shall not happen. All right. When I look at certain things pertaining to this question, I am terrified. I am terrified. Many of the D linemen that we have here are the same D linemen that they ran all on. There's no real significant change to the D line. Other than some people coming back healthy. Who's the real change to the D line? I'll wait. Because I'm having a hard time finding them. It's comical to me. So I'm gonna hit on a lot of stuff today. I'm gonna take your questions in between. The artist asked me Jahmyr Gibbs versus Javid Best in his prime, who is way better. But Jahmyr Gibbs ain't took a snap yet in the NFL, so I can't argue who's gonna be way better. I need to see a player take a snap in the NFL, then I can make that happen. The question is, can Gibbs hold up in the NFL? Well, that's going to be the question. And until he take a snap, we can't ask that. What's going on, Tim? My man Tim Hutchinson in the building. Put Hutch at D tackle. We tried that. It didn't look good. William Burr says, I can understand saying D tackles are lackluster, but linebackers? All right, well, shit. Will, shit. Hey, Will, I'm in a good mood. Let's explore. Let's see. Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell. Yeah. You mean throw Malcolm Rodriguez in there? Okay, cool. Let's say they come out, they just had to play a 4-3 defense, right? Let's say Jack Campbell is playing your inside linebacker. Let's say your Will is Alex Anzalone, and let's say your Sam, I don't know why it would be this way, but let's say your Sam is Malcolm Rodriguez. If any one of those two go down, you bring in who? You bring in Derek Barnes? Great. And then if, say, Jack Campbell goes down, who's the other linebacker you bringing in? This is not me I'm not just making this up. You want to try to hype up Jalen Reeves-Maybin? Please do so. Please do so. He's a special teams guy at best, just like Malcolm Rodriguez. This linebacking core is not something you look at and go, yep, strength. That's just not true. Who's the guy? You want to tell me it's one of these rookies that's not going to make the team? Who? I get what you're saying. Not saying that you necessarily is wrong. But come on. Our fourth linebacker is Derek Barnes. With the addition of Campbell, we are now deep as hell at linebacker with 4 linebackers. Got it. Got it. If I put a poll in the chat. Damn all that. We can make things a little bit less complicated. I'll put a poll in the chat because sometimes I need to know. All right. I need to know. Are we deep at linebacker? I just showed it. The poll is in there. Are we deep at linebacker? The poll is up, people. Y'all tell me. Clearly, I've lost my damn mind. Clearly, I've lost my mind. I'm not saying that what you said, Will, is wrong. I'm not saying that. I'm saying when I look at this team, a team that's got 17 games to play, I'm not feeling confident about these linebackers. I'm not. So I'm not feeling confident about them. And I'm definitely not feeling confident about the damn D-line. I'm sorry. The interior D-line looks suspect. It looks suspect. But I put the poll out there. Maybe I'm crazy. What the people say, I see what the people say. The poll is out there. I'm watching poker right now, but saw you were on One Pride. Appreciate you 2 guys in the podcast. 100%. Appreciate the love and support. There's no real change at stopping the run. There isn't. They just gonna have to play better. Can Gibbs be a running back one for me and No. No. I don't even talk fantasy football because I hate fantasy football, but no. To the people who talk fantasy football, if you take Gibbs as the running back one for your fantasy team, you're going to be mad. You have to be able to see how the team is set up. It's not enough balls to go around to make him somebody that you can value as your running back one. He's not even going to be running back one when the game starts at 0-0. He's not going to be that. He's going to be situational, get a few plays here and there. He may have a game here and there where he light it up, but as your running back one, no, not when you got Sam Laporta, not when you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. No, I wouldn't do it if I was you. No one plays 4-3 anymore. Okay. We need a veteran run stuffer. Tell me something I don't know. Which would you say is the bigger need to fill for D tackle? Interior D tackle is the biggest need that needs to be filled faster than anything else. Waste no time on it. That's just what it is. Multi teams are built for two linebackers in the modern NFL. Okay, cool. So let's say we go up the same thing. Those one of those two go down. You feel good with those other ones coming in and playing 16, 15 games. I don't. Hell, I didn't even want Ellis Anzalone to still be here. So why in the hell, if he go down, do I think say somebody like Emrod finna come in and just he's different changer? Come on now. I don't. I like Derek Burns, but I don't think they give him enough opportunity. So, yeah, not saying it. Luke, you're ceiling the floor for wins. My floor is 8 and 9. And my ceiling is 11 wins. I'll be surprised if we got over 11. But again, that's why I got the poll up. The poll is up for the people. I'm also going to do a little bit different today because I'm going to give people opportunity to come in and talk to me. You ain't got to just sit here and just, listen to a brother. Come in and tell me how you really feel. But yeah, I want to see this, this thing that people are talking about. Like, we got a lot of votes in here already, and people are saying, no, we're not deep at linebacker. So it's not just me. I'll leave it up a little bit longer. It ain't just me. I'm just sorry. I wish I could tell you it's different. But the reason I bring all this up is because even with that happening, it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking about the Lions a little bit different. Because now it got me to thinking, who is that player on defense? Who's the player on defense? Not named Aiden Hutchinson. I'm going to say it again. Not named Aiden Hutchinson. That the Lions staff and fans will forget it's on the roster, but he's probably better than what many people are expecting or the opportunity he's getting. Who's that guy on defense? Who's that guy? Who's the guy that you're going to look up to? He's going to be the forgotten player because of some of the changes that's happened on his team, and he probably should get more opportunity, but he's still going to be a forgotten relic. Who's that guy? That's what I want to know. I'm putting it out there. He says, Luke says, might be crazy. Wait, might be? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, I just put it out there. Who's the player? Who's that player? Let's see. I'm trying. Listen, when Patty Luke come out, it get bad. I'm trying to keep him in ref today. I mean, it's crazy to me when you look at how this thing is. I got one vote for maybe Houston. It's the forgotten player. Okay. Y'all need to cut or release Tracy Walker. Why would we do? Why? Why? For what? I'm just saying. Why? Who's the guy? Romeo? Okay. Because I think it's a guy that probably should get a chance to shine, but he won't because we added a free agent that everybody done somehow gassed up. Like there was a significant difference between these two players. Burns is much improved. I want to know who's the guy that the Lions staff and fans will forget about because of the things that have occurred this offseason. Tracy Walker needs a walker in his nursing home. No, don't do him like that. Y'all okay? Y'all gonna wish y'all stop talking like this when we need these people. Even if you start Gardner and Kirby, who's the backups behind them? You want to tell me it's Branch? Great, one. Who's the other guy? I'll wait. You want Brady Breeze back there? You feel like that's going to get her done? I'm asking. I'm asking. I'm not leaving anything up for interpretation. I'm just merely asking the question. Who's the guy? You take those guys out of the mix. You got Branch. You got Johnson. You got Kirby Joseph. Who's the other guy? You get rid of Tracy Walker. Who's the backup to him? You feeling good about Iffy all of a sudden now? He's got it figured out. You want to tell me how great Brandon Joseph's going to be? Who's the guy? You want to get rid of people, but does it make sense to do that? There needs to be backups. There need to be people that can come in relief. And I'm sorry. I don't like Iffy at safety. He ain't it. Not at safety. Top tier, pick my guy. I think it's Jerry Jacobs. I think Jerry Jacobs is going to be the guy that gets forgotten on defense. He's going to be the guy that all of a sudden everybody's going to forget because there's no real significant difference between him and Mosley. I mean, half the people are already crowned Mosley and Sutton as a good tandem. Haven't even took a snap on our team. Haven't even took a snap on our team. And I think Jerry Jacobs is going to be a forgotten relic. He's going to be somebody we don't even talk about this season unless somebody gets hurt. So off rip, when you think about that, flip it out to the offensive side of the ball. Who's the guy that gets forgotten about on offense? Because I think there's one player who clearly gets forgotten about. Like, I'm just being honest. Who's the guy? Because to me, it's one clear person. I keep saying this. There's not enough balls to go around. Every time somebody in the media talk about these trades for this receiver, sign that receiver, we are the favorite for this receiver. And I get to laughing. Like, they don't understand that this team was still doing things without Jameson Williams. But all of a sudden, Jameson Williams not there for 6 weeks, and we panic. This team all of a sudden has just gotten so much worse without him. And then the people forget that they added a tight end who's more explosive than Brock Wright, who was more explosive than I'm drawing a blank with the dude's name. Zistra? How do you pronounce his damn name? They forget that. But I think there's a guy on offense who's going to get this same treatment. And you just brought him here. He's been here before, but you just brought him back. And as soon as Jameson become available, watch how the balls all of a sudden forget to go to him. And if you still ain't picked up on who I'm talking about Marvin Jones Jr. Hell, Raymond could get forgotten about, but guess what? I find that one a little bit more challenging because he'll get some playing time on special teams. Reynolds could be a guy that got forgotten about. But it's all going to evolve around the tight end, St. Brown, and when Jameson Williams come back, because we got to prove that he was not a bad pick, right? James Mitchell already been forgotten. I've been cussing about that damn pick since we took him. Oh, come on, Luke. It's a 5th-round pick. A waste of a pick. You just went out. You literally took him and drafted a whole nother damn tight end. He's so special. Maybe in year 4, he'll figure it out. But look at the team. Look at the people right now. Look at the people right now. On defense, Jerry Jacobs will be forgotten. The same way Malcolm Rodriguez got forgotten as soon as the season got further along, everybody forgot about him. Then we get Jack Campbell, and now everybody's shocked. Well, what do we do that for? Because you need linebackers. And I've been telling you, we had the most average, mediocre, meh linebackers you could find. And I had to hear all these different excuses of why this person was so great. And I'm just thinking to myself, he's great on the Lions? Man, that bar is low. When you go to the other side of the ball, Marvin Jones Jr. is that guy. He'll be forgotten. I still got the poll up for people voting on, are we deep at linebacker? Still looks like a lot of people saying no. I'll close it in a few minutes. It just doesn't make sense. The reality is that many of the things that I'm bringing up should be discussed. Messiah Flutie, I hope I said that right. Brad Holmes is on the clock. If you ask me, let him cook in his own damn kitchen. I'm not sure he's not. I think this is 100% him. I think this is 100% him. I'm not sure. My man Greg already said Marvin Jones is washed. Wish him well, though. Okay. You forget that one of the things that Chark did was be a jump ball, deep threat guy. That's literally what Marvin Jones do. And yes, has he lost a step? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I feel confident enough to say that. But can he still be a big target for you to get the ball to? Yeah. Can you still do something where you put him on the outside with Reynolds and now you got, say, Jamison Williams and Amon-Ra on the inside? Oh, yeah, it's big problems there. Just saying. Jones is pro. Raymond is a good number 4. Okay. Mitchell made a contribution. He was solid his rookie year. Really? Okay. Now, what matrix we using for that? And I'm not being funny when I ask that question. How we come to this conclusion? What's the basis for that statement? Because the last time I checked, a guy who was targeted 11 times, caught 11 passes for 113 yards and a 1 touchdown don't sound like major contribution. Like, if you what contribution was that? I could have got that out of you. Come on, Max Dad. I could have got that out of you. I'm just trying to figure it out. I got 2 questions out there already. Question 1, who's going to be the forgotten player on defense because of all the things that's happened? Question 2, who's the forgotten player on offense? And then it's obviously the one I got up in the poll. Are we deep at linebacker? I have a hard time with this one. I just do. And that's just me starting it off. Got a few more things I got to hit on. Plus, take your questions. I'm just going down the list. The wide receivers we picked in the late rounds could be a practice squad. It's probably more likely they are. Even if they're not immediately practice squad, the moment Jamison Williams is available, they to the practice squad. It's sort of like how, like when you met that girl, you know she toxic, but the minute something better come along, you drop her. Because that's like a trend for people. Not me personally, but it's a trend for people. We are balls deep at linebacker. Okay, Salty, I'll show you too. Where? Charles Harris is more likely a DN or a rush outside edge rusher. Him in Houston. So okay, this rookie Trevor ain't making it. Julian Okora, I think it's on the bubble. Romeo, edge rusher. Pittman, special teams guy at best, but doubt he make it. Jalen Reed-Maybin is just about as mad as Malcolm Rodriguez. There's no difference between these two, other than height, weight, ethnic background at best. I mean, they're literally the same players. No difference. Where are these linebackers at? If Jack Campbell goes down or Ellis Anzalone go down, who are your two linebackers? Because everybody want to talk about this 4-2-5. Who are your two linebackers? If Jack Campbell and Ellis Anzalone go down, who are these two linebackers you feel confident throwing out there? I just want to know. I have a hard time seeing the vision. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Echo for Whiskey. You work at Walmart for a reason. Let the professionals do their job. Well, thank you. I don't know how the hell he got that much, but okay, yeah. Walmart is a very respectable job. What's wrong with that? Where you work? I wish fans would just shut up and cheer. You don't know football. I hear that. I told you I've been good vibe mode. Come in, spread your joy. The reality is what the reality is. Some people just want you to they want you to pee on them and tell them it's raining. Some people like that kind of stuff. I'm not one of them. Some people want you to give them all the lies that they can tell you. I'm not one of them. I got the link in the chat so you can come in and talk your talk. You don't even gotta leave a message. You can jump in and talk your talk to me. I'm open. But with a 61 to 39% vote, people say no, we are not deep at linebacker. I tend to agree with them. I tend to agree with that. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to convince me. We're not deep at linebacker. We're not deep at interior D-line either. I don't know if our trust opinions on whether we deep at linebacker when so many fans wanted Malik Willis. That's a good point too, Val. That's a damn good point. I told everybody they didn't want that guy. We need to get on a rookie quarterback contract. I don't care who the quarterback is. Well, I think Hooker is going to be lights out. I think that's 100%. What's going on, Lion King? What's going on, Mr. Marcus? Cheer for what? Our one playoff win in the franchise? Listen, some people just want to hear it. Who should we pick up in free agency now? Honestly, and I've thought about this long and hard, I think we need to make a different move than look at the free agency. You need to be ready to make a move for a person via trade that you can add to the team and you feel can be a long-term answer for the next 4 years. Particularly at the damn interior D-line spot. But everything I keep saying is every player who becomes available. Who said I hate Mask? No, that's just not true. Damn, Luke, you just hate Maskins. No, I do not. He's an average player. Salty says Rodrigo and Burns. Nope, not gonna get it done. Not gonna get it done. With this interior D-line, come on now, bro. And I like Burns. I have no real issues with Malcolm Rodriguez. I just think Malcolm Rodriguez is meh. Barnes is meh. I like them both, but they're meh. The difference between Barnes and Emrod is I believe Barnes was never given the shot that Emrod got. And I think if he did, it would be a different outcome. We're ball deep with good second string players. That's what Max Stagg says Mitchell was hurt early and flashed when he was available. He displayed solid receiving ability, competent in blocking, and had a neck for getting open. Most rookies have a hard time adjusting. They literally went to like 4 tight ends before. Like, They went through like 4 tight ends, bro. They was like they knew what I knew that you knew, and then to turn around and draft a tight end because he was so good. Like they're telling you that they think he's a guy that they wanted to get a look at, but they're telling you, hey, we can do better. That's why Laporta is here. Even after they traded TJ Hockenson, Mitchell was like an afterthought. Even after he got traded. Just saying. We have 4 starting caliber linebackers, and only 2 need to start. Okay. Because we don't have injuries. Okay. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. Let me bring in my first guest, John Kapler. What's going on, brother?
First off, congratulations. I am so happy for your family. You got 2 family members home. Message to them if they see this. I am so proud of you. I am so fucking happy for you 2 gentlemen. I don't even got words. So just a round of applause for you 2. I don't even care about football right now. This is for y'all.
Hey,
Welcome
I appreciate
home.
that. I appreciate
That is
that.
blessings. And on to football and Walmart. Comment that I said, you know Petty Luke? Well, hi, my name's Petty John. I'll address some stuff.
Hold on. Let me test you up. If Petty John got to come out,
because
Petty
I'm
John
in
gotta-
rare form.
he got.
But we'll get to Joyful John.
All right, go on, Petty John. Go ahead, man.
So you work at Walmart, huh?
I mean, it's not a bad job to
Supposedly.
have.
Well, you know where that person works, in his mama's basement, looking at pictures of his stepsister. It's exactly where you work at, because I've worked at Walmart twice. They're okay, but they can be assholes. But you work in your mama's basement, drawing over pictures of your stepsister that you can't freaking have, because your daddy beat you to it.
Whoa.
Well, go
Okay.
ahead, talk some shit about Luke.
Listen,
Talk some more shit about Luke.
I'm cool. I don't mind being the Walmart guy. Hey.
Now, as far as Detroit Lions go, we are balls deep at linebacker with extraordinarily great second string players that can come in when needed and rotate. And when it comes to our defensive tackle, we're set, because you know what we did in the draft? We drafted Sam Laporta-Potty. We didn't need a defensive tackle. No, we got Sam Laporta-Potty, who's going to piss on everybody because he's a little bit faster than Hockenson. Oh boy, we're going to play NBA football. We're just going to outscore everyone. Forget defense, Luke. We don't need a defensive tackle. We got Jahmyr Gibbs, who apparently is Joint Bell 2.0. Who the hell is Joint Bell?
Listen.
But that was our first pick, so I mean, shit, we good. We're just gonna play offense. Forget defense, because we got Sam Laporta-Potty. Potty.
Listen, I tell you like this, man. I think that the idea that we're deep at linebacker is perspective, right? Somebody
We have
can have
two
somebody can have the
at best.
perspective.
And you
that-
could have upgraded from Alex Anzalone.
I mean, but I'm saying if the perspective is that we're deep, people don't realize I remember these kind of comments. I remember these kind of statements, and I know how the things go. We're going to have injuries, right? Like
Every team has injuries,
and
whether
so,
it's in training camp, whether it's exhibition, whether it's beginning of the season, mid-season, or end of season. And then you guys are gonna be like, "Oh damn." And you're going to start crapping the bed.
And so at that point, when you're telling me we're deep at a position, that means that those backups can come in and be more than suffice. I don't feel confident.
Not at linebacker.
Or saying that with the other one. But because I'm doing a shorter show, John, I'm gonna let you go so I can keep it going.
I just wanted to say hi, hello. I am so proud of you, your family. You guys are a bunch of tough mofos.
Hey,
I got your back, and I love you, and I got your back.
I appreciate it.
So
man.
make more comments, people. I will be back to get his back.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. If you're not familiar with John is talking about, I had a lot going on in the last 3 weeks with my family, but we we've made it through it, and that's the most important part. Now, Giovanna Lyon said, "You never said who you would pick up in free agency. I don't want nobody in free agency at this point. I want you to go out and trade and get somebody who's going to have a solid, deep, disrespectful, negligent impact at the interior defensive line. And if that should be one Quentin Williams, great. I don't want no parts of Chase Young. Whose spot he taking? Oh, you're gonna just put Chase Young opposite Hutch? Okay, cool. Why? Ain't you done enough investing into the damn edge rush position already? I'm not looking for that. I'm looking for a guy who can come in the middle and be a complement to Aleem McNeil. People forget one of the biggest things that Ray Lewis used to always talk about was he was so happy to have Tony Saragusa and Sam Adams in front of him. He was happy when Hanoli Nagata and Pierce were in front. These were big dudes who not only were big, but they got you the hell out the way so linebackers can feed and work. And I'm just telling you that for me, I'm at a point now where this cheap ball stuff is gonna start to bother me. It's been bothering me because we don't spend no money on defense. But yeah, I would trade for Quentin Williams. If Grady is Grady Garrett is, I take him. I just want somebody with some impact. Leonard Williams up for sure. I don't care. Give me somebody who's going to have some impact on the inside. I don't care. Mitchell will compliment Laporta well. I said it first. Listen, I love the confidence. I think that anybody watching should have that level of confidence. I'm looking at all these damn tight ends. We know Laporta's going to be there. We know we still got James Mitchell, but I'm not sure that James Mitchell will outdo Brock Wright or Shane Zylstra. I don't know if he's going to outbeat them. And if they carry all four of these, I don't see how. I'm not trying to, I don't see how. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I am not always right, but I don't see how. Luke, do you feel Campbell can help in stopping the run? No. Because one man by himself, and I don't care if you Ray Lewis, is not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. Because what happens when the person runs to the outside and now the whole game I'm spending time chasing you? I got to come out and take a breather. No. What about when the quarterback takes off and runs? What about that? Like, I'm just being honest. What about that? What's going on, Crimson? Long time no see. But I'm just saying, I don't think that Campbell is the answer. Now, is he been brought in to be the answer? Absolutely. Absolutely. But linebackers are a unit. Don't believe me? Go and look what happened with the Bears. You had Roquan Smith. You had Lance Briggs, and, they had a group. Everybody remembers Ray Lewis because it's Ray Lewis, but guess what? Ray Lewis had dogs next to him. You go down, people talk about Mike Singletary. There's a lot of great linebackers, but there were units. And yes, even with Luke Kuechly, Luke Kuechly was a dog. He had some help next to him too, but even he couldn't do it by himself. So yes, would I have rather had another linebacker? Yeah. Would I have rather had more interior D-line help? Yeah. Would I have rather seen more investment into the defense? Yeah. But is Jack Campbell enough? No. Again, link is in the chat. Feel free to jump in and talk your stuff. What's going on, Big T? Yeah, I don't get it. Big T says Broderick, Derek, Aleem, Kaminsky, and Pascal will stop the run. I think we have dogs. Okay. If they show it, I'll be the first to say, okay, I was wrong. I was wrong on this. I don't know if I buy that because I think right now, if I had to cue it up, the first person that everybody's going to be ready to say fire the minute they see the first sign of trouble is Aaron Glenn. That's the first thing. He's already queued up to be fired. He's the guy that they're already ready to say, you know what, get rid of him at the first sign of trouble. And I mean, Broderick Martin, no. Now, if you bring him in on a down that's a running down, could that help? Sure. But when it comes time for a passing down, I don't know. Let's see what happens when we take a snap. Aline, I'm with Aline, but Aline last year, because he didn't have the necessarily the help that he needed, what else could he do? He did well, but what else could he do? They still ran on us. What's going on, Marcus? I'm just trying to figure it out. When you talking about stopping the run, like people don't realize it, but like we can look at certain things. Like we can look at certain games from last year. And yes, last year ain't always the NRBR response to what we were. I get it. I totally get it. They're not always what we were. But man, when you giving up almost 400 yards to a mobile quarterback that you got to play twice, yeah, I have a hard time with some of this. Game 1, 216 rushing yards. I bet you most of that came from just the quarterback. Is Campbell supposed to be the answer to that? Okay. But my point I'm trying to make is we got what we know what the weaknesses are. I know what the strength is. I know that we can go out and score with most of these teams. I know that that's not going to be the issue. I know these things. But I also know that when I'm looking at this schedule, when I'm looking at who we getting ready to play, this is one of the reasons why I believe we beat Kansas City, because they are not a run-first team. They're not running the ball first. Right? Like, when I go through and I look at Kansas City, I'm hoping Kansas City come in and be like, let's showcase Patrick Mahomes. Please do. Please do. Please go out and do it. Please make me happy and proud and do it. I think people would be shocked at that. Please do it. Why? Because the reality is not going to change. You come up with that, you're playing to a strength, which should be our secondary, which is what we put all the money into. So, yeah, I'm expecting to see something. But when the Lions get ready to go against Kansas City, they're not a run-first team. And so that's why I think we beat them. I think they're going to pass too damn much. And I think that's what sets us up for success. That's what gives us a chance to win. When we look at the rest of the games, it's not as if though we can just act like, oh, well, forget the other games because, this stuff happens to anybody. No. You have to look at these teams and their head coach mindset. When you play Seattle, he's going to run the ball. That's just what they do. Week 1, you should beat them. They're not going to run the ball. Seattle's going to try to run the ball on you. The Falcons are going to try to run the ball on you. Which ironically brings me to my next question. Who's that player? Who's that player that you believe that fans would look back on and be like, man, we could have had them? We did this with the whole Aaron Donald. I've been hearing this Aaron Donald stuff for years. Who's going to be that player that we look back on and be like, man, we took this person when we could have had this? Who's that guy? But I'm telling you right now, your first week, they're not going to run the ball first on you. They're going to pass a lot. You should be able to win that game. That game against Seattle, you should be able to win that one, but they're going to try to run the ball down your throat. The Falcons are definitely trying to run the ball down your throat because they're trying to protect their quarterback, Desmond Ridder. Green Bay is going to try to run the ball, but I don't know if they're going to be able to pass it, to be honest with you. And Carolina, well, given what they did to you already, you know they're not ready to put the ball in the air. And now they got a mobile quarterback. They're gonna still find ways to make things happen, but now they got a mobile. Come on, now I'm just asking you. This is why this is being brought up, because these are the real concerns. I'm usually quiet during this time. This is the quiet part of the offseason, so much as J-Mo shooting fireworks is news. I mean, it's ridiculous. I think the reason we in D-tackle trouble is because of Levi pick. Yeah, I mean, but it go further than that because we had multiple drafts where we could have added other people. You had multiple off seasons, so I can't just use Levi as the excuse. You know, there were other people that you could have, brought in and give you something. I'm just putting it out there. If we can't stop the Lions throwing in the ass for years and this mobile quarterback, I mean, bruh, I think I did 391. 391 is what we gave up to Justin Fields. I'm almost sure of it. Let me go look at it. I'm gonna go back. I'll go back and look at it. I can go back and look at it. I'm almost sure we gave up 391 yards to Justin Fields. I want you to think about that. Just his rushing. Not nobody else rushing. Just his shit. The mobile quarterback and run games, what the problem is. I think the offense is going to be just fine. I think the offense is going to show up and show out. I think they'll do exactly what we thought they was going to be and everything. I have no doubts, right? Like, I feel really good about the offense. Even without Jameson Williams, I feel ecstatic. I think it's going to be a long, hard time, right? Like, really. But 147 yards rushing, and the first time the Bears went against the Lions with 2 touchdowns. 147. That was the first game. I bring these concerns up for a reason, not because I just want to be an a-hole, because I seen the problem. The next game the Lions had against him, 132. And I'm looking at the damn adjusted numbers because they got to take off what happened with the fumbles, that we got from like James Houston and all in the sacks and stuff. But 391 yards right there, that's 279, but 391 yards of rushing just from that quarterback in 2 games. So, yeah, I'm concerned. My man JT Sports is in the building. What's going on, JT?
Man, what up, though, Luke?
You looking good over there, man. How's school treating you?
Man, shoot, man. Finally got housing, bro. They waited like 3 months to give me housing. I didn't even know if I was going to be going back to them folks, man. So, going back, like, this is my last year there. Like, after the spring, like, I'll be done. I have my
Well, congratulations, man. I'm going to give it to you now because I know you're going to get it done. What you got for the people, man?
Man, like last bro who was in here, man, I'm happy. When I heard everything that you had going on, like, I ain't gonna lie, like it effed me up, man. Like I couldn't even watch the rest of the stream after that, bro. Like it was hard to get back to my days.
It was a hard 3 weeks. The constant waiting, for people to wake up after doing what they did, and the looking for every little small victory. And then you get that one moment where, they walk home, they get to go home, and you see that it's not, it's been overwhelming and exciting. So yeah, 100%. I have been in all good vibe. I mean, somebody came in and said I work at Walmart. Like that was a bad place to work. Like,
man, that man Luke do not work at no Walmart, man. I don't know what his line of work is, but it was like you do something like, don't you work for like the CSI or something? The FBI?
I mean, we do something like that, a little something, but we just, but what are your thoughts, man? These are the things that I ask people. I'm gonna run it down real quick too so we can get through it. My first question was very simple. JT was simple. Who's gonna be that guy on the Lions that they're gonna forget about because of all the things that happened? I picked Marvin Jones on offense. Who's the guy on defense? I picked Jerry Jacobs. You think somebody different?
Man, honestly, fam, like, I really like when y'all picked up Brian Branch. Like, not finna hold you. Like, if y'all, depending on, like, if y'all know how to use him, because he's one of those versatile players where you just don't have to put him at one position. Like, he played that star position at Bama, and I don't know if you know of that Texan safety that they had named Jalen Petrie, but he went off last year. Like, he led Houston in tackles and interceptions. So I'm not expecting Brian Branch to have that kind of impact because you guys got other people ahead of him like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, but I feel like he could end up being really good for y'all his rookie season, depending on how y'all use him.
No, I agree. I see a lot of scenarios where they're going to rotate him in and out in different parts of the nickel. He played a lot of nickel cornerback for Alabama. I got people who's like ready to move on from Tracy Walker. So, you can start Chauncey Gardner and Kirby, and then you just leave him in the nickel. But I'm like, you have backups. You have, you got to put other people there. But in my opinion, until they take a snap, I can't give no praise to these people until they take snaps, bro. Like, you're gonna have to come out and do something so special that leaves me like, oh, that's translating to the NFL. Like when Ndamukong Suh did that, I knew that what he did was gonna translate. When Chase Young came out, I saw a kid who was lazy. I saw a kid who got up for games that he knew he can do. And then when they went against like rivals, he'll get up for those games. But all them other ones, he was just coasting. I saw that kid. But again, people want what they want. My issue is when I'm looking at the Lions, I'm only looking at it like, how do we win games? How do we achieve it? Like I really do. Like that's why I'm on the inside. I'm laughing. And shout out to my man Daryl Thompson. He says, "Luke, your first game prediction ain't too good, bro." I'm just saying. I believe we beat Kansas City. I believe that Kansas City is going to take an L to us week 1. Why? Because I believe that they're going to come out passing the ball too damn much. I do. JT,
Man, but it's like at the same time, this Kansas City though, bro. Like
I don't give a care.
You believe in the secondary that much?
I believe that it plays into the strength of the secondary. Yes.
Let me ask you this: are you expecting? So if the secondary gets shredded by Patrick Mahomes, are you going to be upset with that performance, considering how much money you put into it?
I mean, you can't get blown out because my issues with the Lions are simply put, it's the damn defense. So no, you can't get blown out. I'm not going to be happy with a blowout, right? And I don't want to see no half short end comeback neither. I believe that they will come out passing the ball too damn much, and I believe that we're going to end up getting them on that alone. I think that if they come out running the ball, like if I'm always messing my man name up, Pacheco.
Pacheco.
If he somehow break one long run, we in for a long day, right? But if he can't break a run, and they're not committed to the run, the numbers don't say that they're committed to the run. Yeah, I think they play into our strength.
If y'all win that game, I wouldn't more so think it's the secondary per se, but I really would feel like y'all would win that game because of Aiden Hutchinson and what's the other dude from Jackson State? It slipped my. Who's the other edge rusher y'all have from Jackson State?
James Houston.
So a lot of people are overlooking y'all pass rush, bro. Like when people talk about the Lions from a national standpoint, like they make it seem like you guys got questions on the defensive line and secondary. And I keep having to remind these folks in the comment section because, the national media people, they'll never let somebody like me come on and embarrass them. But they keep overlooking y'all pass rush, fam. And you got to remember, Kansas City has 2 new tackles. They got Donovan Smith at left tackle. We're going to see how that works out. That's kind of like bringing in Donovan Smith is like one of those signings that you make when you trust your team culture, and you trust your coaching, and you feel like you're going to be able to have him coached up, because he wasn't good the last 2 seasons for the Buccaneers. So him against Aiden Hutchinson, big matchup to watch. They also spent big money on former Jacksonville Jaguars guard right tackle Jawan Taylor. Now, they paid him a lot of money. He had a big season last year for Jacksonville, but his biggest season, his make-or-break year, was his best season, which is kind of a little bit, it's like a good signing, but at the same time, you still don't know if it was a one-year, a one-hit wonder. So I really feel like if y'all win that game, y'all pass rush is going to expose a huge concern that people have about Kansas City, which is how they're going to hold up at offensive tackle. Guard, center, straight.
But that's why I got us winning that game, because I don't think they're going to run the ball. I think they're going to come out passing, and I think it plays to our strength. If you look at what you said, the national media talks about the weaknesses. There are weaknesses, but they're not talking about it being the rushing part, because that's where we really bad at. That rushing attack against us looks good. A lot of people have did a really good job against us and running the ball. I mean, in fact, if you were to just simply go through and look at the rushing numbers per game that happened against the Lions, it's not even close. People ran the ball on us. 216, 88, 123, 235,
Dude,
176.
The Panthers, bro, like they ran there for over 200. The Panthers.
They had 231 at halftime. They finished the game with 320. Like the only game that nobody didn't really run on us was the Minnesota Viking game, where they gave up 22 yards. The second lowest came against the Jets, but the Jets didn't even have Hall playing that game, but still got 50, whatever. But you go through, you look at the rankings. The rankings speak for themselves. When it comes to rushing yards and attempts and stuff, they were like 30th or something like that. Like they were not good. They were not good. Like you have to see it that way, and that's why I'm just making the point that we can talk about these things, but it's just not there. Big T says so. Branch, Campbell, and Gibbs ain't going to translate. I think they're all going to translate. I think there's a difference between their translation and Ndamukong Suh. What Ndamukong Suh did, you can't replicate that. That he was a fearmonger. He was somebody that you had to make sure you kept in check, because he had disrespectful, bad intentions. Is everybody going to have that same attitude towards Brian Branch? No, because he's not going to get a lot of damn snaps. He's going to get rotational snaps, but he's not going to get a lot of snaps like that. He's not coming in to start. Is everybody going to look at Jack Campbell like that? No, because he still got to prove it with snaps, and he's going to be a starter. Gibbs is not going to be a day one starter. That's going to David Montgomery. So off rip, no, I'm not saying it won't translate, but is it going to have big enough impact to the point where teams are coming in and just saying, like, look, I took this guy because it's going to translate immediately? I don't see it.
When Ndamukong Suh came into the league, this dude was one of the few players in the history of college football to be a finalist for the Heisman Trophy as a defensive
tackle. As a D tackle, an interior defensive tackle.
Like he came into the league already, people like the kind of impact. I get what he was saying about these rookies translating, but we're talking about on a different level. We're talking about instant impact. You come into the league and you're already one of the best at your position. Like Ndamukong Suh came into the league already top 5, top 10 at his position, pretty much based on how you played. That's pretty much what people are expecting out of Jalen Carter. You feel me? It's like Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch. Those guys are going to translate, but they aren't coming out with these all-pro expectations as a rookie. Aaron Donald, all-pro, Pro Bowl caliber player as a rookie. Ndamukong Suh came in, was already top 5, top 10 at his position. Like, that's how good Ndamukong Suh was. That's what Lou G's talking about in terms of, like, impact. Like, Ndamukong Suh is just a different
like
breed.
Day one, you knew he was going to be all bad. And in the very first game he had, we was like, he did somebody dirty. Like, damn. Like, did them dirty. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking our guys. I'm saying that the way our coaching staff have done things, I don't think we get the most out of them. I'm just being honest. Outside of Carolina, the last 10 games, running backs didn't do too much. We got beat by quarterbacks on the ground. How do you fix that? You add to the back seven, which is what the Lions did. Wait, hold on.
I'm finna respond to that. So y'all remember Lamar Jackson's rookie season, right? You remember how everybody played them? Nobody knew how to play that. And then they went against that game. They went into that wild card game against the Chargers. That was the first team they played where they were going to be faced off for the second time in the season. So what did the Chargers do? They put a lot of speed on the field, but they had Derwin James pretty much playing linebacker. So Brian Branch may be what I like to call the Justin Fields stopper. Justin Fields started doing what he was doing the first time y'all played them. You're going to find a way to insert Brian Branch into a nickel or dime defense, and you basically say, hey, Brian, like, we want you to go out there and just go get Justin.
Now, again, shout out to my man, One Funky Lion fan. He says, let me try outside of the Carolina, the last 10 games. So we can take Carolina out. So we're doing 9 games, or what are we doing? 9? Okay, I'm just gonna do the 9, right? Because I want people to see it. Like, we can talk about that Carolina game, Funk, but we got to also look at some things a little bit differently. So I'll take Carolina out, right? I'll take them out. Even taking that out, right? I want you to look at the rushing. Okay? I want you to look at the rushing yards down that stretch. Now, I want you to also keep into perspective. We just took out 1 game. So this is a 9-game sample. 9 games, 106 yards against the Packers. 258 against the Bears. And yes, I know that there's quarterback rushing in there, but it still counts for the rushing attack because these are the 2 things that we have somehow missed or act like we didn't want to talk about. 89 versus a Giants team. 164 versus the Bills. Okay. 95 versus Jacksonville. All right. 22 versus the Vikings. 50 versus the Jets. 200 versus the Bears again. And yes, I know a lot of that came from the quarterback. But, if you believe that secondary is going to fix that, fine. And then we get down to the last game against Green Bay where they gave up 103. That's 1,087 yards of rushing the defense gave up in 9 games. Without me even including the 320 that came from, that came from the Carolina game. That's not my numbers. That's not something I just made up. Shout out to my man Anthony from Roar the Lions UK, my better looking twin. He said we need to stop living in the past and comparing everybody to Sue. Why? There are just sometimes when people set high standards that need to be met. It just is what it is. Like, there have been some great leaders in each of our country's history who that have set certain standards. Right? There have been people in our families who have set certain standards. The point I'm trying to make when I bring up Sue isn't to compare people necessarily to Sue, but to say, you know what? When you're taking a talent like that, that's different than taking somebody who's going to be playing in a role versus somebody who's coming in with immediate day 1 impact. That's all I'm pointing out. But yeah, to Funk, 1,087 yards without Carolina. And in case that's still not enough, and I see you in the back, Rumble, hold tight for me. In case that's not, it says, I made money prop betting against running backs down the stretch. Good. But when they look at a defensive ranking versus the rush, they don't just look at what the running back did, it's what they did as a team rushing. In fact, I hope you make some more money this year. Shoot, to be honest with you. Get all that money. You feel me? Get all that money.
I tell
But
you
I'm just
one thing,
telling
made
you.
a lot on the Lions though, winning those games.
That's what I'm saying. Let me bring in Lions Rumble. Lions Rumble. What up, dude?
What up, though, fellas? Hey,
Hey,
man,
what's
shout
up?
out to you, Luke
Yo,
G,
Let me
man. I
know.
appreciate the your powerful testimony yesterday, man. Seems like we're all going through something right now, and that kind of got my mind right, man. I appreciate that, man, more than you know.
Listen, hey, I appreciate the thoughts, the prayers, just the love and everything. And it is seem like right now the world has got a heavy weight on it, but we gonna all persevere through all of this. We gonna all
Oh
get
yeah,
through this.
oh yeah, oh yeah,
What you got for us, man? Talk to the people.
yeah, man. I mean, I'm kind of with you as far as the whole Sue comparison. Like that was the last best thing we had on that line, believe it or not. So you're gonna get those kind of comparisons, man, until somebody makes us forget Sue. But yeah, man, I'm more focused on just the packages that we're gonna run this year, man, and we have to stop the run, bro. If we bolstered our secondary, so it's only fitting they should be focused on stopping the run, and the secondary is going to be involved in that as well, man. We got way too many pieces in the secondary, and so there's going to be some there should be at least some kind of precedent to wanting to stop the run, because like you said, there were teams last year that tore us up, man, up the middle, and even Justin Fields, it's like we can't let one player, one position, cost us games, so, and that's on both sides of the ball, so
But see, I'm not even trying to be negative. I
mhm.
brought up the question that was posed by Pride of Detroit, who says deep dish dive. Do the Lions need to acquire more D-line talent? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, of
And
course.
when you look at anything outside of this, like I know what the offense is gonna do. I know what the offense is going. To me, there's no doubt in my mind what the offense is going to do. I already know what the fan base is ready to do. As soon as the very first sign of trouble, it's going to be fire Aaron Glenn.
I know, man. That was bad last year with the whole Aaron Glenn. When we started out, 1-5. Yeah, that was a nasty take. And then we let Aubrey go, and then for some reason that kind of triggered everybody in the organization, man. So I mean, again, you're only as good as your players, man. So Brad Holmes has proven so far that he can, at least scout talent and at least draft the guys and at least make certain plays and certain moves. So we're still riding high from last year's success towards the end of the season, and hopefully that kind of, hopefully that pours over to this season. We got Big V back. He was considering retiring, and then next thing you know, he's back in the back in the line with those guys. So yeah, I absolutely need him to start out quicker than he did last year.
Of course, and I think we can, because I really do believe. I'm looking at it. I'm telling you, Kansas City don't run the ball first. They pass a whole lot, a whole lot. That to me should play into the strength, as you heard JT talk about. You got James Houston, you got Aiden Hutchinson, and they got new tackles. If you fall in love with Taylor, cool. But Donovan Smith, man, he should get worked.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially with our D line practicing against our O line, man. Those guys, that's gonna be filthy. He ain't gonna know what to do, man. I'm sure this year Aiden's added some, like you said last year, more tools to his repertoire, because he realized he can't bull rush everybody. So it's gonna be fun, man.
You know who's gonna be big for y'all in that KC game? I really
Who's
feel
that?
like
Who's that,
Thompson
JT?
Johnson and Brian Branch are going to be big for y'all, because those are safeties who I really feel like have a specific skill set that you put on your defense for the Travis Kelce's of the world. Because if you can take Travis Kelce out the game, it's a different game plan for Kansas City, because then you're asking them to beat you with their young kind of unproven wide receivers. I'm not going to say all of those guys are unproven, but most of the guys who are expected to be their contributing wide receivers this year are fairly young outside of MVS.
Yeah, and you know, shout out to another point that's made about this. You know, they also have a mobile quarterback, but there's a difference between a mobile quarterback and real mobile quarterback. Patrick Mahomes does not look to run first. He always looking to throw the ball. He don't even want. In fact, I think he's been told, "Don't you dare get into a habit of running." He don't run the ball as much as people think he is. Like I've heard so many times where people be like, "Man, Patrick Mahomes runs, and he's a runner." No, not really. Not really.
Man, we talking about quarterbacks that when they took that thing, they looking like another running back like Justin Fields the first time they played Detroit. I was loving what he did to y'all defense from my football squad, man. And I think I was telling you the week leading up to that game, I was like, you better watch out for that boy Justin Fields, because one thing about it, he may not complete a lot of passes, but he gonna run the hell out of that thing.
But I'm just saying, when you look at it, Patrick Mahomes had 358 rushing yards of last season.
The entire season.
The entire season.
So, like,
wow.
What impact is Jack Campbell going to have now? Because he's supposed to be like this athletic Hercules figure out of Iowa. Like, what is he?
And the reality is this. That's bring me to my next question, which, you know, because I wanted to hit on this one before we, you know, I get up out of here, which is who is that guy who needs to be an instant impact player on day one? And to me, it's not even close. And you cannot name Aiden Hutchinson. I got to do that because everybody loves to go to Aiden Hutchinson, even though I believe he's had a average rookie season. I thought it was okay.
What?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
He was better than Trayvon Walker, so I mean
that's fair, right? But Trayvon Walker should have been taken that high any damn way. So that's fair. You know what I mean? So and the reality is when you start to go look at other people's rookie seasons and you compare it up to it, it doesn't even stack up into like great rookie seasons. He had an okay rookie season, it was average, right? Like, it wasn't like something so spectacular that you was like, damn, look at that. Like, you know what I mean?
Man,
like,
I don't feel like he was okay, man. I feel like he was good.
Okay, so good. Okay, it's good to
me.
me. Okay. Look, we do good. He had a good rookie season.
Yeah, he did. He did all right. He picked off Rodgers. You know, that kind of. Yeah. He did all right. I'll give him that. I'm not trying
to shit on him. I'm not crowning that thing because he had interceptions. I don't care. he was missing more games than he was present at times. That's what it felt like to me. You can almost look at all his numbers. I know that Hayward was on there, but I'm just saying. We got a new person showing up into the arena. Let me give him a minute. Are you ready, my brother? I see you in the back. I'm talking to you, Chad. Let me bring Chad into the building. Chad, what you got for the people?
Hey, you know, I just followed you today, so I'm going to keep following you. But, you know, you're just talking about how we're getting destroyed up the middle. Well, yeah, and that's not the problem. It's when they get to the middle and then they get past second and third defense.
Agree.
I don't find.
No, Chad, you was in the building. No, what happened? He was in the zone.
Chad was going to drop some bars.
Yes, man. I'm gonna give him a minute. Damn that. I'm giving Chad a minute. Chad, I'm giving Chad a minute. He got to come back. He was finna go in. I was ready too. Chad, I'm gonna put you back to the back. You froze up on me and everything. If you listening, go out and come right back in. Damn that. Chad was gonna go in because he's hitting. Oh wait, there he go. I think he back. Chad. He's not back yet, people. Not yet. I'm waiting on Chad. Damn that, y'all. Listen, I shout out to my man JT Sports for coming in the building with me. Listen, I'm giving Chad a minute because I'm not disagreeing with Chad. When he says it's about when they get to the second and third levels and stuff, I'm in agreement with it. But there was no push up the middle. And those D linemen outside of McNeil, they really wasn't holding their lanes for linebackers to fill, which is why we didn't have a lot of tackles for loss. And so this is why people like Jack Campbell has to be the answer. He has to be
Mhm.
that guy with day one instant impact. He
Yeah,
has to be.
I agree. Yeah, he's at the top of my list too, man. Him, obviously. Oh my goodness, whoever they decide to put on the outside linebacker, whether it be whoever they put there, that person. It's like you said, it's all about gaps. You have to control your gaps. You have to give them no options, and I rather them run down the line of scrimmage than uh, than be able to just run up the gut and gash us.
And that's fair.
So
Chad,
we have to.
come back, man. I need Chad back. Chad was finna get into Chad was ready. Chad came in ready, and he was smooth with it too. If y'all didn't see how smooth Chad came, Chad was ready. He was ready to bring some smoke. And I wasn't finna disagree with nothing. Chad, get your ass back in here.
He leaned into the camera too.
I know,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Hey, get back in here, Chad. Hey, I'm not ready to give up on you. You was getting ready to go and cook. I wanted to see what this meal's gonna be. You was ready. Because everything you said, I was agreeing with. You weren't hearing no beef from me. I'm just pointing out. I think when we look at this question though of who had to have that instant impact, it got to be Jack Campbell on defense. But on offense, it's a player that I think that when you look at it, wait, hold on, damn it, people. Listen, sometimes if you ask, you shall receive. I asked him to come back, and Chad didn't disappoint. Chad, please finish that thought. You was in rare form. Go on back with it, brother.
Hey, all teams, Green Bay, great defense. They give up the yards, man. If you don't think that we're not going to get the 8-10 yard carries on them, no problem. Our problem was after they got past the front line of the defense, the middle and the secondary couldn't make tackles, which allowed for so many huge runs. I don't see that being the same this year. I think we have the people in place. Sure, we'll give up 10, 12 yards here every now and then. We're not going to give up 30, 40 yard runs anymore.
Listen, I believe that if they cannot give up the big runs, great. But one of the things that I noticed in a lot of these games wasn't necessarily always the big runs that they gave up. It was the big runs that they gave up, particularly on like third down in particular. Or it would be like those first down runs where it's like, damn, that's 8 yards right there, right? And yes, you would like to believe that we've made those changes by bringing in Jack Campbell. You would like to believe that we made those changes by bringing in those secondary people. And those are things that can be true. They just haven't yet to be seen. My only question is when you look at the interior of that D-line, where they are allowed to get up to those second level, that is usually stopped at the D-line level when your D-linemen are playing a certain style to create that problem. We have one player, really two, but one player in terms of the interior D-line that requires a double team, and that's Aleem McNeil. The rest of them were non-factors. Michael Brockers wasn't a factor. He's gone for a reason, right? You brought in Broderick Martin in the draft. Are you confident that he's going to be a guy that's going to require a double team? I'm not. He got to take some snaps to prove me on that.
Yeah, and it's I can't wait till they put the pads on and we really get an opportunity to see what these guys first of all look like in pads, and also, how are they going to attack? You know what I mean? Like I'm waiting to see how these guys attack. It should be more than one helmet on the ball. There should be no, leaving your man out there to dry. It should be what they were doing towards the end of last season, which was getting helmets on the ball, So that hopefully that carries over, especially right now, because we do have more rookies coming in, and of course we have second-year players. So that'll kind of, flatten that curve out for some of these rookies. That's what we're hoping. That's what I'm hoping, at least. So yeah, man, I'm juiced, man.
Yeah. And again, Chad, nothing you said I disagree with, right? You didn't say anything I disagree with. I just simply said, look, the question is fair. Have we done enough to stop that? And when somebody basically brought it to me was, with the last 10 games, we didn't really give up nothing outside of the game against the Panthers. And I took that game out and still came up with 1,087 yards.
And you got to admit, the Panther game, we weren't prepared. Look how we performed in the second half, but it was too late. We didn't have the right cleats on. Carolina's a turf. Underneath that turf was all ice. They didn't expect that.
No, that's fair. That's fair. But you know what? Whether you blame that on the head coach or you blame it on the players or whoever, that's fair. But my only point is take that game out of the whole season, right?
Mhm.
If you took that game out, which was 320 yards, right? 320 yards. They still gave up 4,100. Well, sorry, they gave up 4,129 total yards on the season, right? That's what they gave up, 4,129, right? And if you take that 320 that happened against Carolina out, right? Just take that cool little number out. That's still 3,809 yards of rushing. That still is too damn much. That still puts you in the top 10, top 15 rushing defense. That's not like worst defenses. Like it's not you can't have that. And my concern, you know, Chad, is have we done enough? And what we've done, will it translate into wins? Because I don't think we lost a lot of games last year because of offense as much as we did the defense.
Yeah, the first 6 games were an abomination.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous.
yeah. So just putting it out there. Let me bring in another guest, Chad. You can hang back if you want to.
I'll hang back, man. I'll mute.
All
Call me
right.
when you want me.
You can stay right there in the chat. That way you can chat to everybody else. I bring in my next brother. He's always showing love. He outside looking like he in some good weather too right now. Look. I caught him at a bad time. My man Bandit, talk to the people.
What's up, man? You said, do I think we got enough?
Yes. Do we got enough?
I still think we need like another linebacker, bro.
I think that's fair, but I was told that the linebacker core is deep. So yeah.
Deep in trouble.
That's what I was told.
Yeah, man.
How was our linebacker core deep? But listen, they did do what I told you. Remember I told you we should have traded back up in the first round and get the linebacker out of Alabama. Remember I told you we should have did that?
You talking about Christian?
No, the one that.
You talking about? But he was already gone though.
Remember we were talking about pre-draft.
Yeah, but he was already gone. Man, we had no chance. We would have gave up more draft capital just to move up and get Will Anderson than anything else. It wouldn't have. It's you got to keep the draft capital because you had so many things that needed to be fixed on defense. So I'm okay with us not moving up. Now, you do bring up a question, like I said, like that I brought up earlier, which was like, who's going to be the guy you're going to be watching? Because I think people are going to forever look at Bijan Robinson and Gibbs and figure out, did the Lions make a mistake passing on Bijan Robinson? They're going to forever look at Kalijah Kancey and say, hey, should we have took Kalijah Kancey over Jack Campbell? They're going to forever look at Jalen Carter and see if this and you know fans is waiting for them to have one bad outing so they can talk about their ass. It's just going to happen.
Man,
but
everybody thought we was going to get Jalen Carter, man.
I thought it. I certainly thought it. It was there. It was there,
man.
but I guess the concern compared to was too high.
Man.
You know. But outside of that, what else you got? Because I touched on a lot of things today. I hit on a lot of main points and stuff. Chad said he just subscribed, so I'm happy I got a new subscriber in the building too.
Man, welcome, Chad.
Hey, listen,
he hopped on to talk that talk.
Another thing gonna happen. I think us losing DJ gonna be a big part, bro. Got Marvin Williams.
You think losing? See, now I gotta ask the question, people. Who is the player that the Lions lost in free agency that you think they gonna regret losing? Now, Bandit started this talking about DJ Chark. You went there with it. I think that player that they gonna regret losing is DeAndre Swift.
That too, man. That was.
Chad said no.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
I think. Listen,
watch he gonna put it up and be healthy though, bro. Like that's how all the time with Lions players lose in the league, man. They go have a breakout season somewhere.
Listen, Montgomery has played through injury. He's tough as all nails, but he's been hurt too. So the question now becomes, if he goes down, your next running back is who? Ibrahim? Why you put out the dude from Minnesota? Or what? Who's the next running back at the gig?
Bro, they still got free agents out there, man. Shit, why not?
But this is my point I'm trying to
They
make.
ain't about to bring no free agents in right now, bro.
That's what I'm saying. They're not getting ready to bring nobody else in. And I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I'm saying
why
if
not?
you just said if he gets injured, who's your backup? I said there's free agents out there.
Right, but
Yeah,
you're gonna
you-
have Gibbs and who?
It don't matter. Whatever free agents available
Okay,
behind this
good.
O line, behind this
Your
O line,
confidence higher than mine.
bro. Behind this O line, they can get 4 yards, bro.
I
One
ain't
of
mad
them,
at
one
you.
of them, one of them can get 4 yards. Like
I ain't
I
mad at
wouldn't
you.
even.
Name a free
I
agent
don't-
running back that you willing to go out there and get right now, and don't say Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, we can. It's gonna cost too
Oh
much.
no, I wasn't gonna say Dalvin Cook. No, hell no. No, no. I wouldn't go that far. Man, whoever, bro. I bring Ezekiel Elliott in if he was available.
No.
Shit. What are you gonna lose if you just handing the ball off to him? Like you're not expecting him to catch the ball, bro. You just need somebody to run the ball up them tough yards. You know, Jamal Williams, he was. You telling me there's nobody out there that can do what Jamal Williams did last year? And free agent,
I mean,
he had
not a lot of people
10
did what
4-yard
Jamal Williams
touchdowns.
though, so you can't say that though. Like
What happened?
a lot of people ain't do what Jamal Williams did though. If it was
Yeah, but
that
I'm saying
been done
they-
though. That's the
he
first time
said,
they've
but
done since
some
Barry.
of his touchdowns were only 3 or 4 yarders. Like, come on now. You can run a straight yard. You can run a straight line 3 or 4 yards, bro. It ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole line
I
is
feel
gonna
like
let.
us losing Jamal Williams was like Boston Celtics losing Marcus Smart, bro. That was like the hard R team, bro.
That's our biggest loss, Jamal Williams.
Yeah, that-
Okay, I get y'all that.
So you
I get y'all that.
believe that the one we're gonna look back on and be like, damn it, we should
No,
have
no,
lost.
I'm just that tenacity,
Yeah.
that the spirit he brought to it. We gonna miss that in the locker room this year, bro. Like that fight, that dog in him. You feel me? Like who gonna step up and do what, like that motivation on the field? You know what I mean? When Dan Campbell ain't on the field, who gonna do that? But Jamal.
Giovanni Lyon said you can go get Zeke Elliott. JT Sports said you can get Fournette.
Okay, you can go get them, but they ain't gonna bring that tenacity, that dog in them like he. Man, when Jamal get on the thing, you see he'll fight. You know what I mean? 1 or 2 yards, yeah, but he would break the tackle and keep going. Who you know that dog gonna do that? I mean, like Fournette and them is like we ain't see it in Tampa Bay. And Ezekiel Elliott fell off a couple years ago, so like that's why he ain't employed right now. So like who right now gonna bring that dog like Jamal is in that locker room like that, bro? Like that's a big loss too, bro. Like I don't know.
I mean, the question was asked though, man. The question was asked: who is the guy that they're going to miss? I got Chad who says it's going to be Jamal Williams. Who you say is going to be Rumble?
Who are we gonna miss?
Yeah, that guy that you're going to look up and be like, dang, we're going to miss that guy. You know,
I can't even say that, bro.
I feel like
To be honest,
we gonna
I can't.
like we gonna.
I agree with Jamal Williams, but I think he's gonna be. This team's hungry, man. So I think there's somebody that's gonna pick up. Maybe not be as much as he was, but somebody's gonna pick up that torch, man. Somebody's gonna pick up that torch and want to be the alpha in the room. So yeah, Jamal. That would be my what Bandit said. Jamal for sure.
so you got Jamal. Okay, I listen. Yeah. I get it. I'm just making the point that, like, to me, the reason why I say DeAndre Swift is for the following reasons, right? Just stay with me, all right?
Big playability.
Big playability is one, but he did a lot for this team, and people just have short memories. I get it. Now, Marcus Willis says, why are you shortchanging Montgomery? I'm not. I was happy as hell when we got Montgomery. Nothing has changed. What up, though? Boom. What's going on, BD Buster? I see y'all in the building. But let's just look at David Montgomery, right? I'm just looking at the career. David Montgomery, the most snaps he's taken in his career was 247. Last year, he took 201 attempts, right? All right. Now, DeAndre Swift, the most snaps he's ever taken was 151. He took 99 attempts last year. So they weren't even giving him the ball, right? Jamal Williams took 262 snaps last year, right? And he ended up getting hurt for us. And David Montgomery took 201 snaps last year, and he ended up being hurt. I'm merely asking, like, look, what sounds like a better option for you? If you could come out with a 2 running back set with Montgomery and Gibbs, or Swift and gives at the two running backs in the backfield. It's more of a dilemma for you in that regard. I think Montgomery's going to be great for the Lions. I think he's going to be phenomenal for the Lions. I just think that I would have held on to Swift, seeing how you ain't giving him the ball that much any damn way, and he would have been better than whatever that third option was.
Why do you think that his contract's due up? He was going to get a big payday. We ain't
had to pay him.
We had to pay him.
We ain't had to pay him, Chad. We could have just let him ride his contract out.
And then what? Then what? Not get anything for him?
What we get for him now?
Fourth round pick.
In what year?
2025.
Shit, you know what can happen in between then? I might not even be here. I mean, come on, it's a long time.
And here's what you're missing. Here's a
been
point
free
you're
at the
missing.
monster in the
Okay,
back, too.
Montgomery and Williams, they average the same yards per carry. The difference is before contact, and Montgomery is the leader in the whole NFL of missed tackles. Contact with the Detroit Lions is 4 point some yards before first contact with a running back.
Mhm.
The Bears was 2 point something, and now they had Williams and Montgomery had the exact same yards per carry. You're putting Montgomery in a much better position, and we have better blocking wide receivers. The Bears have EQ. He's a great blocking receiver. Okay, we have St. Brown, his brother, another great blocking wide receiver. But we also have MJJ, a great blocking wide receiver. Khalif's a little undersized to be a blocker, but he'll still do it if he has to.
Now, Chad, it's like God was talking to me and said, "I'm gonna send you Chad." Right? He didn't realize it, but Chad was what I needed today. But the reality is I didn't disagree with what you're saying. What I'm making a point of is I believe that he's going to go down at some point. I would be surprised if he doesn't get hurt this season. He's been hurt every season. He just plays through it. And my thing is why not have that stud third option? Especially with the amount of times we run the damn ball. We run the ball. We run that ball. Like if you go through and you look at like just last year's rushing attempts, the Lions love running the ball. Like that's butter for them. They like running that ball.
Because that's what golf good off the play action.
Right,
Yep.
because it sets everything up. Now, do I think he comes to a better situation? Yes, you get no disagreement out of me on that. That's just facts, right? Do I think Montgomery is better than Jamal Williams? Hell yes. You get no argument out of me out of that, right? But do I think, given the fact that you already was not really giving the ball to DeAndre Swift, that he would have been a better, in case of emergency, break glass, change the pace, switch up guy who can still give you something? Yes, he's going to be better than Ibrahim. He's going to be better than that. Because guess what? This is my nightmarish. This could be the worst case scenario for me. If they turn Gibbs into theoretic, I'm going to want to puke.
Oh my God.
That's my nightmarish thing. Even when you look at players like Javid Best, right? And I know it's a different coaching staff. I know it's a different time. It's a different era. I get all that, right? But I'm just saying, even when you look at Javid Best, with how he was utilized here, I grew growingly upset at this idea that, hey, let's just throw the ball to him. And that was concerning to me because
third down.
Because you knew when he came in, it was a pass play. The same thing with Theo Riddick. You was like, oh, he's in the pass play, right? And to me, I'm just hoping that we don't have that same thing happen. I'm just telling you that I believe that the offense will be good. I have concerns when it comes to the interior D-line. I have concerns when it comes to the depth of the linebackers. And when it comes to Kansas City, we winning that game. I called it here is what we win.
Yes,
I've been saying this for
Yes,
months.
sir.
I've been saying this for months because they do not run the ball as heavy as other teams. And Patrick Mahomes is not the kind of quarterback that's looking to run with his legs. He wants to throw it. And JT brought up a very good point. Find a way to minimize his opportunities to Kelsey with people like Chauncey Gardner and Branch, and which I wouldn't put Branch on him in that first game. That's gonna be real ugly. You don't do that to that young man. You're gonna take his confidence away, you know. That's what happened to Okuda. Okuda first taste of the NFL came against a monster, and Devontae Adams and everybody else did him dirty. I don't want you to do that to that young man. But I'm just making the point that, you know, these things should be concerning. These things should be a problem. And like I said, we're going to miss certain players. We're going to be comparing our rookies to who we could have had. It happens every year. The question is who are going to be these people? I've already had a number of people hit me up and say, yo, I really think we messed up not taking Carter. Oh, yo, I really think we messed up not taking Kancey over taking Campbell. We don't know until they take a snap. And that's just the reality of it.
And Luke, to your point, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
Who's the running back you named that was so
Theo
good?
Riddick.
Not Riddick.
Javid Best?
Yeah, Javid Best. He already came in with multiple concussions. Okay.
True.
And it was destined. He was one hit away from his career being over, and that's what happened. Jahmyr Gibbs does not have a history of concussions.
No, that's the only thing that they don't share in common. That's the only thing. But when you look at everything else, they are identical. Like, I wish I could make it up. They are identical people. When you look at their build, how they run, their style of play, like it's scary. Like, it's really scary when you look at it.
Your argument with Theo Riddick, we have a totally different coordinator. Like, you don't know who's going to get the ball. We didn't see Panay. We didn't see Panay get the ball. We didn't see so many wild things from him. So he keeps defenses on their toes. So I don't know, man. I can't.
But Rumble, that's not my issue. It's not
right.
Is are you going to commit him to the run? Is Gibbs going to be able to get those touches?
Absolutely.
And I
believe so.
He's not.
I think they're gonna use him on third down.
The ball in the backfield. Gibbs is going to
use Montgomery on first and second down. And they're gonna use Gibbs on third down.
There you go. I'm with Bandit on that.
The same way they use Theo Riddick though.
Yeah, but in this instance right here, you can play action with him and still give him the ball. You see what I'm saying? Like, Gibbs will still catch the ball. You could play action with him and run him to the opposite side. Let's say he runs a route like an out. You know what I'm saying? He's that electric. And to Chad's point, once we have receivers set up 5 yards down the field, Gibbs can make one or two people miss, man. Like, they were throwing some short screens last year to some of these players, and they was getting out. Even the DeAndre Swift one where he snuck out the back, and then he had time to fall down without being touched, get up, and run the touchdown in. Those are the kind of plays I'm expecting Gibbs to do. Because you have to respect him.
I'm not mad at that. I'm talking about the rushing.
Yeah, no, he's going to get the ball. I think they're going to give him the ball because they're going to want to keep, like you said, they're going to want to minimize Montgomery's carries in case we do run into, a wild card game or whatever. So he's going to be. I think, man. I think they're going to. Guess what? Montgomery might end up catching balls too.
Now,
with Ben Johnson.
And again, to JT Sports' point, his worst fear is the Lions giving Goff an extension and making Hendon Hooker a long-term backup. That would disgust me. I think Hendon Hooker is a talent, and I think Goff is not bad, but I feel like at some point you have to be able to say, you know what, long-term, where should I be at with this? And to me, I will go with Hendon Hooker.
Man, trade him back to the Rams if you need to, man. Trade him back to the Rams. Stafford's going to be done.
Goff goes wherever Ben Johnson goes, and mark my words on that. If Ben Johnson leaves, Goff will get traded.
Yeah, they already talking about his yin and his yang, and that's the reason why he stayed in Detroit, because Goff was here.
Okay.
Right.
Now, for the people who want to know how close that Javid Best and Jahmyr Gibbs is, like, I'm trying to make this up. There are like small measurement differences. Like, Jahmyr Gibbs 5'9", Best is 5'10". Jahmyr
What's
Gibbs
his 40?
I'm gonna go through all of it. Jahmyr Gibbs at the combine was 199 pounds. Javid Best was 199 pounds. Jahmyr Gibbs 30.5-inch arms. Javid Best 31 3/4 of an arm. Jahmyr Gibbs hands 9 1/4 of an inch hands. 9-inch hands for Javid Best. I'm like, you're talking about like milliseconds. Jahmyr Gibbs 4.35 seconds in the 40. Javid Best 4.36. Like
Wow.
Damn.
Jameer
They're
Gibbs
identical without the concussion history.
without the concussion history. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's different.
Wow.
Jameer Gibbs 10-yard split 1.51 seconds. Javid Best 1.52 seconds.
Look at when we had Best when he was healthy. Look at all the wins we rang up. Look at how dangerous he was. Then he got that concussion and was done for his career. Then our season just bellied up and floated up like a dead carp.
Yeah, I mean, and it is. I mean, but it just, and I just want people to see like how crazy it is. Vertical
That is
jump for
crazy.
Jameer Gibbs, 33.5 inches. Javid Best, 33.5 inches. Like this, I can't make this up. And it's not even
Wow.
just that. It's so many other things. Shout out to Ordinary Dad, who says the running back role is getting to be less value, lesser use, and just gives us both worlds. League overall are running less, so having less interior D tackle depth is not as concerning as a weak linebacker. Okay, I'll put it this way, Ordinary Dad. Let's go and look at the playoff teams and tell me what happened in those games. I'm almost sure that most of the teams who won was able to run the ball in the playoffs. And most of the teams who made runs towards the playoffs were able to run the ball in those later months because running the ball is still there. However, the league does this from time to time.
The Super Bowl was the team that able to what? Stop the run.
Yeah, I mean, you took away their best asset. You told them throw the ball. And it was like, oh, okay, long day for you. So yeah, I mean, I think you got a good point, but I think that trends happen all the time. Like I remember when Wildcat was such a thing, everybody was so confused by the Wildcat until it was figured out. Then at one point, I mean, back in the day, it used to be full house. That was a big play that was confusing people.
Don't forget about the run and shoot back in the
Oh
early
yeah,
90s.
the run and shoot.
Oh,
That was
man.
a big trend.
Right.
A big trend. So I'm
Right.
just saying,
Jerry Rice's best friend.
listen, hey, I'm just telling you, these trends come and they go. It is what it is. Dave Barnett, Swift ran and caught a lot. Gibbs just takes that role after J-Mo's back. Yeah, I mean, I know. But that's,
Wrong. Gibbs is coming in as one of the best receiving running backs out of the draft.
This is
And
why
if you hand it off to him, he's quick as lightning.
like J-Mo 6 games is gonna hurt us, man.
I don't think it is. I don't think that J-Mo being out 6 games is going to hurt us at all because, like,
He was
I
out
think-
6 games last year.
he's out more than 6 games. And
We
they
had
still
Jake
was doing their
Marco.
thing.
We had Shark though for that deep threat.
Oh, you saying that Shark was the deep threat.
yeah.
He was
I
injured.
like
in the
Marvin
beginning.
Jones.
Wait. When Shark was injured in the second week and missed 6 weeks.
Yeah, he had a baby.
We went
Yeah.
on the losing streak then. And then when he
Yeah.
was healthy, we went on the losing streak. That's deep threat, bro. Is big, bro. That opened up everything, bro. Like we're gonna miss him, bro. We're gonna miss Jamal's presence in the locker room. We're gonna miss DJ during these first 6 games. Why J-Mo hurt? That's all I gotta say, bro. That's
You know who last year dropped his first deep passes, first 2, and then never dropped a pass the rest of the season? Any of you guys know? Wide receiver, undersized.
Sorry, Val. Val says
Come on.
ordinary dead, not ordinary dead. My bad. Hey, one thing y'all gonna find out about me, I will box the shit out of a name. I promise you. I hate when they try to give me a name that they know I can't say, and I'll be like, "You're not gonna embarrass me like that today." I suck at names. I do my best to learn them once I get them, but it just But I like the comment. I just think that trends come and go. They come and go.
you talking about what receiver dropped 2 passes at the beginning of the season, never dropped a pass after that?
Yep.
What's number 8 on our team's name?
It was Khalif Raymond.
Reynolds.
Khalif Raymond.
Number 8.
Khalif Raymond dropped 2 passes early as a rookie last year. Never dropped a pass the rest of the season. When he got moved to the third, he got moved to number 3 receiver, and he never dropped a pass.
Well, Khalif Raymond for us was never a rookie, but I talking about number 8 for us. I could have swore was Josh Reynolds.
Oh, that's what I thought he was talking about. I thought he was talking about Josh Reynolds when he asked that question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's all good. All right, people, we've been on for an hour, 53 minutes. I plan on being back on again tomorrow. Just for the people who followed me yesterday and was, heard me about my basketball game. My son got me. That goddamn USA team did me dirty. He was picking Golden State. I was killing Golden State. Then he went and got the Celtics. I was killing the Celtics. Then he decided, you know what? I'm just going to get an all-star team. So he gets the USA Olympic team. And I'm talking about, bro, he's shooting threes. Like he didn't even attempt a single two. Everything was a three. James Harden shooting threes. Kobe shooting threes. I think that they had like, you see, I think he was like 65% from 3-point line. I was like, this is nuts. He was killing me. But today I'm gonna get my revenge. I got something for him today, so it's gonna be a little bit different. He gonna learn today as he talked so much trash all day yesterday. So yeah. But one of the things I like to do is like to end the show on a positive note. So I give everybody a chance to get a final thought. Start off with you, Chad. Give me your final thought. And again, thank you for becoming a new subscriber. I appreciate it.
Luke, man, I'm going to follow you. I'll watch for the notifications. I'm glad I stumbled across you yesterday. I follow a lot of the podcasters for the Detroit. I don't know if I can name them or not.
You can name them. Listen, on my channel, it's all free.
I follow Main Event 365. I follow like NFL Huddle. I even follow Green Bay stuff just to keep in the loop. But I'm glad I found your show. You have good context. And One Pride, go Lions. And I got us at 11 or 12 wins. And I'm not being homish.
That's fair. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that prediction. That's fair. I thought they should have won that many games last year. I had them at the minimum. I had them really winning 10 last year, and I said they could win as much as 11 and 12. But defense didn't show up. My man's Bandit. What do you have for your final thoughts?
I know everybody happy that the Lions is now like people talking about it and everything, but the people that's jumping on the bandwagon, jump back off. If you wasn't with us when we was 0-16, do all the grind and everything else, like don't try to jump on when we fix up and put a brand new engine in the Cadillac. You feel me? Like I'm cool. Like everybody like, oh yeah, I hate all this fake fan thing. When the year we went 0-16, I got my line tattooed on my. If you ain't a hard, don't jump on our shit, bro, because I'm kicking you back off. You feel me? That's all I gotta.
My man Rumble, give the people
man.
your final thoughts for the day. Oh, what did I lose you, Rumble?
No, I'm still here.
Okay, there you go. You up for your final thoughts, brother?
Oh yeah, my bad. I said I appreciate the platform. Appreciate your testimony yesterday. I'm so glad everything is going right. And man, shout out to Chad and the chat as always. And Bandit, man. Hey, man. Whenever we get in here, it's like barbershop talk, boy. But we talk ball, man. So, man, Luke, keep pushing, man. I'm praying for you as always, man. And thank you.
Hey, listen, as they continue to get better and better and show more and more signs of improvement, I'm praying for other people that they get my results. I'm praying that, the things that happened with my family don't happen to nobody else. It was a stressful time for me personally, trying to be in support of them because I don't, be honest with you, I don't think I sat down till yesterday and fully let out my emotions. Shout out to the good wives out there, man. So my wife, she gave me that opportunity and it was much needed. But you know me, I don't end no show unless I do it on a positive quote. This quote is gonna go a little bit different, but I want y'all to keep up with me. If people who can't communicate think everything is an argument, and people who lack accountability think everything is an attack. Moral of the story, wise man don't argue with fools. And this is the reality of it all. You spend too much of your time giving energy to people who really ain't trying to understand you. Instead of doing that, how about you take that time and put it into yourself so that way you don't waste time on things that won't matter 5 years because it never matter 5 minutes from then. You have to find an opportunity that's going to be able to tell you this is too small for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get here. And if I spend my time playing with people back here, I'm going to miss the message up front. Sometimes we just have to understand that there are some people who don't want to communicate because they want to argue. There are some people who don't want to deal with accountability because they need to feel like a victim and feel attacked. I'm telling you, don't fool yourself into joining their circus. Tell them that, hey, this is a great show. I wish you well. I pray that everything comes to you in the way that you want it. But in the meantime, I got to go because where I'm going, I don't have time for this. And when you start to put yourself in that position where you don't have time for this, you start to notice that all the things that you wanted, all the things that you asked for, all the things that you never thought you were going to get, it will come to you, and it will come to you 10 times fold. And all you have to do is sit back and say to yourself, if I had a waste of time arguing with that fool, well, I might have never caught up to these blessings. I might have never caught up to this opportunity. I might have never caught up to this achievement because I was too busy joining somebody else's circus instead of building my empire. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please hit that like, subscribe, notification bell. And if you don't do nothing else at all, please do your research. We are out.